Just missed a high five on the way up here. Certainly a metaphor. Hey, how's everyone doing tonight? How are we doing tonight? Madison, Saturday night. Everyone all moved in. No one else is homeless, hopefully. That's cool. That's great. I just got a Facebook recently. So now I immediately sympathize with everyone's parents. Technology is hard. It's tough. I thought I had like a decent amount of self-esteem before I joined, but it's not the case. I use this app that it analyzes your profile picture, and it takes like the beauty points on your face. I don't know what that means, but it analyzes that with your celebrity doppelganger. And I am a little hesitant to announce with a 66% match that you are looking at the closest thing to Dame Judi Dench, probably, in the audience tonight. I don't know if you see it, but when they make that prequel to Exotic Marigold Hotel, I will be signing up for the audition. Oh, you guys, I went to a music festival this summer. It was pretty fun. Anyone? No one's been to a music festival. Have you heard of music? It's this great thing that some people like. I do. What I didn't know was that it was hosted on a nudist colony. Claps for nudist colony. Thank you. The nudists in the audience here tonight. It was cool. When I got there, I was like kind of excited, a little nervous. So I went to check in. I'm like, hey, here to volunteer for the music festival. And the person there was like, yeah, you're going to want to talk to Naked Joel. He's over there. He's going to help you out. It's like the guy at the nudist colony whose nickname is how much more naked is this guy getting where he's the one who gets the nickname Naked Joel? I went over there. It was an ironic nickname. He's fully clothed. He's even wearing 2 condoms. And look, here's my thing about condoms, you guys. Oh my God. That is a nice transition. Probably the nicest one you'll get out of me tonight, folks. Trojan condoms. The name. I think a lot of us are familiar with the ancient city of Troy, a city known for its large, impenetrable walls and great stuff inside. I think all of us even more know how that one time the city of Troy was, these guys kind of like snuck in there in the middle of the night and just like broke through the walls and just like tore that shit up. Like, that's what I am looking for when I'm practicing safe sex. But yeah, the music festival ended up being great. I tried ecstasy for my first time. That was interesting. Woo, that guy nudist on ecstasy over there. But it was great. I think I like it, if not because it's like the perfect name for that drug. Like when your friend is like playing some weird electronic music that like makes you uncomfortable. When you're on ecstasy, that music is ecstasy. Like it's the best. When you like are getting like a head rub or a back rub from like a weird person dressed as a fairy in a loincloth. Like normally that's like, why is this happening? But on ecstasy. That's the best thing. And like sex, or like thinking about sex when you're on ecstasy. Like that's ecstasy. That's the best. And no other drug has that. Like weed isn't called, oh, I just ate 2 pints of Ben and Jerry's and now I'm questioning every decision I've ever made. Adderall isn't called step 1, make a list for everything. Step 2, stop blood flow to penis. Cocaine isn't called, yeah! Never done cocaine. That's what I'm projecting a little. Did someone go, aw? He really needs to try it. But yeah, that was fun. Speaking of fun, who's ready for a little crowd work? What's your name, sir?
Dan.
That's such a coincidence. My uncle died about a year ago. And of course it was heartbreaking, but it was cathartic to see all my family there, and there were like 3 different types of chips, like it was a good funeral, up until the point where the priest started giving the eulogy. I've never given a eulogy before, but I don't think at like any point is it ever okay to say, all of us here together. You know, that it really reminds me of that one Mel Gibson movie. And he didn't remember the name of the Mel Gibson movie reference he was trying to reference at my uncle's funeral. A guy next to him was like, yeah, Mel Gibson was a church, Passion of the Christ. No, that's not it. Like, okay, if you're not gonna reference the one movie about Jesus that Mel Gibson made during a funeral, like, maybe don't bring up that anti-Semitic piece of shit into my uncle's funeral. Like, we can leave him outside. Sure, maybe some of my relatives, they might be a little racist, but like, we don't need that in the funeral. But that's not even the worst. The worst part is that immediately turned the entire audience into The Price is Right. They just start shouting out Mel Gibson movies. They're just like, Apocalypto, Lethal Weapons 2, $1. Like, it was crazy. But I think the craziest thing was that the priest was trying to reference What Women Want, the Mel Gibson movie where he can read women's minds. And it was actually it was really touching. It was a beautiful sentiment. So much so that I retract this entire joke. But yeah, that was cool. I used to work at a toy store. Like I said, that transition earlier was the best one of the night. And then for me, I used to work at a toy store, and there's this little girl there. She's by herself. She had her hand in these 2 demos. There were these little, we used to sell these little boxes, just like a little box of sand, and that was it. Like, you know, a toy. She was standing there. She had her hands in 2 different ones, and her eyes were closed. She's a 5-year-old girl by herself. And I walk by her to hear her say, I feel so alive right now. It's like, it's kind of funny, but it was also like I got a little jealous because after working 3 years in retail, it's like, I just wish I could feel anything, you know? Guys, that's going to do it for my time. I've been Ian Erickson. If you've liked